So here's an idea. It's our semestral break. School doesn't start in 14 days. And I think it's the best time to learn a new language, even though I still have a lot to work on my other languages. So I thought to myself, why not try to learn Italian? But then I thought, I don't want to spend the 2 weeks I have left studying Italian. So here's me trying to learn Italian in 7 days. But first, a quick history as to why I chose to learn Italian. 9 years ago, when my brother started to learn French, I got a bit jealous, so I wanted to learn Italian as well. As you may have guessed, things didn't work out. Fast forward to this day, I still have the book I had my mom buy me when I wanted to learn Italian, and I haven't even read the first page. I haven't made a plan yet on how I should deal with this challenge, so you're basically going to see me study Italian as I go and decide what I should do at a specific day and specific time of the day. Okay, so day 1 of Italian, 0 words, 0 phrases, and 0 knowledge on the language. For day 1, I decided to take things slow in the morning by starting with basic Duolingo lessons for an hour. I then started making flashcards, but then I realized... Okay, so funny story, I started making flashcards to review the most common Italian words, and then I realized around the 30th word that it was very time inefficient because I had to write almost more than 1,000 words in Italian for nouns, adjectives, and other words. This is actually what I have been writing for the past 10 minutes. So I decided to just download some Anki cards. I also made some vocabulary lists to jumpstart the memorization process, while also watching some YouTube videos to introduce me to some basic phrases. For someone who's been miserably trying to learn Spanish and Portuguese at once, Italian came off as a challenge because it's very similar to the other languages, and sometimes I get them all mixed up. In the afternoon, I decided to start off a list of some common verbs and their conjugations. While writing, I realized that there's a certain pattern in the conjugations, pretty much like Spanish and Portuguese, but I think I would just need time to master them all. To top everything off, I finally used the book my mom bought me, and it was actually insightful and helpful, so I had to jot down some stuff from the book. Okay, so time check, it is 5 p.m. I'm done for the day. I've studied more than I should have, and I think I'm gonna need some time to process everything that I've written down and learned today. So that's all for day 1. For day 2, I decided to just tone it down a notch because I realized I exhausted myself on day 1. As a routine, I start the morning off with Duolingo, and although a lot of people think it's not effective, I think it really helps. I also had some eureka moments. Piatto.
È un piatto.
È un piatto. Oh, so that's why the junk food is called piattos. That means plates in Italian. Okay. But then I realized... Okay, false alarm, the plural of piatto is actually piatti. So... The Instant Italian book, aka the Forgotten book, is a 6-week day-by-day Italian course. But I would only use the first week because of this challenge. It has a lot of useful phrases for travel and simple conversations which I just had to write down and master. After the sky started to get cloudy and drizzles of rain started falling, I decided to make it a chill afternoon and just add some verbs to my index of verb conjugations. For this challenge, I decided to just familiarize the present tense and the present perfect tense. I also had an introduction to Italian pronunciation, which is a bit of good news because it's relatively different to Spanish and Portuguese. After that, I decided to take a rest and end early for day 2. The challenge on days 3, 4, and 5 was keeping up the motivation and discipline to continue learning the language. It's always a common problem with language learners to keep on going, especially when they look at the challenge as an impossible task. Insecurities and doubts are the first ones to come rushing in, and my defense mechanism would be consistency and just study as much as I can. I always remind myself that it's important to take a rest and recharge because language learning loses its purpose when it's mentally draining. On a side note, I think Italian is closer to Portuguese in a way. That's why I end up pronouncing Italian words with a Portuguese accent. On the 6th day, man was made. But we also drove to another city to pick up my brother, who by the way is now a licensed doctor. On the way, I decided to listen to Italian music just to get the feels of the language and to make the 3-hour drive enjoyable. When we got to the hotel at the late afternoon, I decided to just make the most out of my spare time and study and review all the notes I've written over the past couple of days. At this point, I don't think I was capable of acquiring new information anymore. So I just worked with what I had. At night, when I least expected it, an Italian guy replied to my message and told me that he was down to do a call. So I said, why not?
In your room, io sono passato a casa tua, you know?
Sì.
During your university, quanto dura?
3 anni. Sì, molto bene.
And you? What are you doing? Cosa stai facendo? Nella vita?
Sto studiando.
Stai studiando?
Sì, wait. Let me-
Cosa?
Wait. Contabilità.
Ah, contabilità.
Sì, contabilità. È molto
Ok,
difficile.
quindi...
I froze. Buongiorno, mi chiamo Aries e sono dalle Filippine. Ho 20 anni e studio contabilità. Oggi è il mio 7° giorno di imparando italiano. È un po' difficile, ma penso che è possibile. Tutta la mia conoscenza non sono sufficiente per parlare con qualcuno. Mi piace l'italiano perché è bello. È confusione perché è simile con spagnolo e portoghese, però mi hanno aiutato in imparare italiano. Tentando di impararlo è divertente e penso che tutti devono tentarlo anche. So basically what I've learned after a week of Italian is that it's almost near impossible to learn a language in 7 days. And by learn, I mean conversing with a native speaker and understanding everything about the language. And if people like that exist, then I really have mad respect for them. They're amazing people. And I think Italian's a pretty nice and beautiful language, so I think I'm gonna keep learning it until I get fluent someday. So yeah, that's all for now. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you had fun because I certainly did. And my apologies for the low lighting. It's an extremely gloomy weather today. Like always, thank you for the support and I will see you on the next video. Ciao!